Ladies and gents, welcome back to episode number 6 of the Cod Pod. Obviously, this is going to be the second episode of Behind the Barrel. Today, unfortunately, Aaron can't make it, but we are joined by Curran and probably our biggest guest to date, the one and only Higgsy. How are we doing, gents?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So, before we get into today's podcast, let's touch on the usual stuff. So, live on YouTube every single Monday, live on Spotify Monday. You can find us on Twitter at the H1GGSY. You can find us on Instagram at the Cod Pod. And if you do want to listen online, maybe you're working away doing other stuff, then you can listen to us on anchor.fm/the Cod Pod. If you are watching on YouTube, all of our links will be in the description below, alongside Higgsy's social. So we'll get your YouTube up there, your Instagram, your Twitter, anything else that you want up there. But right, so I mean, this is what we like to call rewind time, Higgsy. So Let's go back to the first time you touched the console and you thought, right, this is, what I want to do. I can stream from this, I can compete in this, whatever it may be.
I mean, literally, like, the first time I played console, it was just a group of us lads that were playing at the same football team. And we just played COD. It was just like pubs. Mm-hmm. And then it was the first time I thought about stream was actually like when we started playing competitively. And you saw like the MLG stuff, the Dr. Pepper Ultimate Gaming House, like all of that type of thing. And then my friend introduced me to game battles, and then that's when I was like, yo, I'd love to stream,
Yeah. I think, to be fair, most COD players have a similar story about how they got into competitive. It's always like play with a few mates from school or football or whatever, and then we got into game battles, and then from there, obviously, you take it as far as you want to take it. I know your story's similar as well, Ash, isn't it, really, into how you got in?
It just goes to show that there's so much social aspects and there's positives what you can take from it. So the people I used to grow up with, who I used to play football with, similar to Higgsy, don't really play as much PlayStation as I do now that I did back then.
Yeah.
So you meet new people online, and it's good. And I think it's good to kind of socialise, especially when if you're more like an introvert, it helps you get there, especially with the streaming and content. So yeah, I'm similar. Like, started off Call of Duty.
I literally remember my first GB. I don't even know how I found the platform. I think it was through watching the videos on MLG.
Yeah.
Me and my friends had this similar names. I was called Dead X Tactics. He was Dead X Talents. I went to put my game battles name in, and it was so confusing. Obviously, I was trying to work the website. I put in his name instead of mine for a solo GBs. It was a shipment 1v1 Pod 4. I went to play, but the guy sent me a message saying, yo, you got the wrong name, bro. And I was like, it was my first ever game. I was actually scared. So I got my dad on the mic speaking to this guy. he was literally, I don't think I was crying yet, but I was so nervous because obviously I was meeting some random guy to play a game of COD. I thought this was weird. But my dad was like, yo, he'll give you the win, but can you please just play him? That's his first game. So I played him, got smacked anyway. But yeah, I remember that so well.
It's like when you join, when I used to join Xbox parties, and then used to play something like Mike, and there'd be loads of random people in there.
Yeah,
and you jump in, I'd just be sat like this.
Silent.
Like, just at all. And they just sat there for about at least 2 hours. I just didn't want to speak to anybody.
Yeah.
It's just weird how it can bring it out of you, though.
Kids these days would never survive at S&D on Modern Warfare 2, mate.
They
Not
wouldn't,
a
man.
chance.
I'll lobby anyway.
Not a chance. So I mean, for those that follow us, maybe your older generation, maybe you don't play Call of Duty back. Modern Warfare 2, which was probably I think it was about 10 years ago now, weren't it? Maybe even longer than that. You used to have to, rather than sitting in like a private chat like we are now, you used to have to go into the in-game lobby, and then obviously you could talk to everybody in there. So at this point, you've got people from all over the country, all over the world sometimes in a lobby, and everything just comes out. Like, no one holds anything back, and if you're not thick-skinned, you genuinely will cry. You're like,
it was just normal back then, though.
It was standard procedures back then, yeah. And it was like someone would say something to you, and then next time you jump in the lobby, you're like, I'm going to use that. That was a good one.
Your mum jokes, your dad jokes, like anything. Is that, but the thing is, though, I think they were, but the actual yellow, there used to be yellow writing saying party chat not enabled, so you have to go into game.
Had to go into
Like,
game
you
chat,
have to go into it.
Yeah.
So everyone just shut there like that, shaking.
It's like sometimes, I used to remember doing it. If no one was on, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go and put myself in a park because I don't want to hear anyone. I'd go to play S&D and it would come up with that message and I'd be like, you know what, nah, I'm not ready for that today. Like, no. So, I mean, obviously we had Axis on the show last week. Axis spoke about, we're going to sort of move into the Fortnite stuff in a bit. Let's obviously cover off the Call of Duty stuff first. So, Axis mentioned, and I know we spoke before this, that you've been to a couple of LAN events. The one that Axis, I think, met you in was Malta 1.0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's talk about Call of Duty. So, obviously, you spoke about how you got into it. Malta 1.0, how was that for you? How did you get on?
It was good. The thing with COD for me was like, because I always played football, it was always like I couldn't fully compete, so no one really knew me in the community. So when I went there, it was actually funny how I ended up teaming. I ended up teaming with Cliffy, Void, Eber, and It's Wars. But it was literally like I was doing a 2v2 GB tournament with my friend, and these I'm pretty sure like we tried to no-show Cliffy and his teammate, and in the end we ended up just chatting on Twitter. We ended up scrimming, then we ended up teaming, and I was quite lucky with that because obviously I didn't know too many people. So if I was going to go to an event, I was probably going to have to go with people that weren't like as good or just people I didn't know. So I got lucky with that. We ended up coming second, which was pretty sick. And to be fair, like Malta actually doing a good job. I know they keep like making it better each time they do it. But even the first one, like it was still like a decent setup. And obviously a little holiday in Malta is still like calm. So
bangs. All right. So obviously placing second, that's good. And I know you've obviously touched on football just since we started talking. So from my understanding, and this is just from watching your videos, obviously signed for Norwich years ago. But then obviously unfortunately suffered an ACL injury. I mean, obviously there's a YouTube video up there which we will link obviously because it's part of the story. But I mean, you go ahead, man. You tell us the story of your football and your injuries and that sort of stuff.
I mean, it does kind of link into the COD a bit as well. Like that's what I mean. When I first started playing COD, I joined Norwich at like under 14s, and it was when that's when it got to a point where you can't just say, "Oh, I can't play this weekend. I'm going to a LAN event," or like miss training and stuff. But I joined under 14s. I was playing up age groups, so I signed my scholarship early, which was quite lucky because when I was under 16s or just late under 15s, I did my first ACL injury. But I already had my scholarship signed, so it was kind of in my head at that point. They were telling me 6 to 9 months, you'll be back for the start of your scholar. Unfortunately, there were like complications with the surgery and stuff. End up having 4 surgeries. It took like 18 months to get back, and it's one of those like even when you're back after that long, like it takes ages to build into games. So you start like playing like 10 minutes of a practice game, and then you slowly build up. And then I did actually sign a year pro. And then after that, unfortunately, I got released. So that was pretty much the story,
Yeah, I knew Ash's always were going to be like, what? Because I know, obviously, Ash being interested in football still to this day, I knew he was going to want to hear that side of the story about your injuries and stuff. Yeah. So, are you still playing football?
I'm injured right now because I've actually did my other ACL.
Right.
So it's one of them, like, speaking to specialists, they seem to think that, like, just the way I did my injuries, normally when you see an injury, it's like, oh, that looks bad. But with mine, it was like, I was just running. Like, it's so simple. So they think that it's just like a genetic thing, like it was going to happen. But the way the surgeries work is like, now my ACL should be stronger than before. So when I get back, I'm signed to a semi-pro team at the minute. But when I get back, like that's when the journey begins to try and like move back up. But,
Is it which is it Northwest Counties or is it just a bit higher?
Wait, what's that? Sorry.
Is it in the Northwest? Well, we play in the Northwest Counties. Is it just that a bit higher?
I'm not actually sure the league. I don't know if you've heard of lower stuff.
Yes.
But it's like I think it's 2 leagues below the conference, so it's like a league below the conference, North and South.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, decent.
That's where there's a team near me called Rushall Olympic.
They're in my league.
Yeah. See, I know. So I've got this knowledge. See, I'm with it, mate.
Stick to rugby. It's like so. Obviously, you did your ACL.
Yeah.
But within that period, the recovery. Guessing you play games, or was that kind of like that's where you probably put the grind in a little bit.
Yeah, like when I did my first injury, that's when I went to my first LAN event at Norwich. Like, so obviously, I had my weekends were free, so I do all my rehab during the week. They'd let me go home on the Friday, and that's when I went to my first insomnia event. The thing is, when I was at Norwich, I stayed with like a dig, so I was staying with like another family like during the week. It's like so I could train every day, and the internet was dreadful. So like trying to practice and stuff was so annoying. Trying to make videos, like all of that stuff was hard. But when I went home on the weekends, I was doing it. Yeah, it's kind of where like all the COD stuff I started grinding that the most, to be honest. Yeah.
So what made you so touching back on
Yeah.
when was it a time where you thought, you know what, I've had enough of this?
Well, the thing is, I always like love COD, but my main thing was my YouTube. So I'd stream, make videos, and then it was when Fortnite came out. I was like, oh, I'll just try this, just playing for fun, just streaming. And then I just had a stream randomly. Like I peaked at like 200 viewers. I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
And it was just I kind of just like followed it. And that's where like one regret I have. It's not really a regret actually. My channel was doing crazy stuff with Fortnite. But I still wanted to play COD, still wanted to compete. So it was kind of like I was trying to balance both. And obviously, if you're trying to compete and scrim and everything, like you don't have much time for your YouTube. So my YouTube started blowing up, but I kind of like put it on the back foot because of COD. And that's when I went to the Malta event, which I don't regret any of that because like going to LAN events, like, I love it. It was just great. And I obviously love COD, but like I knew in the back of my head that really I should just, if I want to make YouTube and like the streaming thing full time, that Fortnite, just that side of things was going to be the way.
Yeah.
And as much as I wanted to like make COD the thing that I could stream, like I'd have loved to swap it and like be able to stream COD and get like the same viewers as I did in Fortnite, but unfortunately it just didn't work like that.
Yeah.
So we touched upon that before, didn't we? Just before the podcast, like in terms of the audience.
Yeah.
I think the Fortnite community and the all kind of just a wide range. You got Stanno playing it, and then the people I teach at school, they're playing it.
Yeah.
And
It's literally just become a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're asking what about Call of Duty, they go,
Yeah.
I ain't playing.
Who
I'm
plays
not
that?
allowed to play. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like finding the right
We
niche,
we
innit?
touched on it before, didn't we? And like one of the problems with Call of Duty is that it's we'll talk about how I worded it better the first time we spoke about it. With Fortnite, they involve and engage all kinds of fan bases. So whether you're into Star Wars, whether you're into, Thor and all that was on there, all the Avengers stuff was on there a while ago. They have loads of different events that engage with and interact with current other pop culture stuff that's going on. Whereas Call of Duty is always just one main thing. It's Call of Duty. They bring out new maps every now and then, but year on year, like people like us who've probably played this game for over 10 years now, it's 10 times, we've bought 10 games that, apart from map changes and guns being different, the core values, the basis of the game is always the same. Whereas, like, fair enough, Fortnite's a battle royale game, but the events they have, the LTM modes they have, we spoke about this, Higgsy, before, like in terms of competing within the game, the skill gap within Call of Duty is not that massive. Like, me and Ash and probably yourself, last year in rank play, we played against Scraps, we played against a few other pros that were there just through meeting up in rank play, and yet they are absolutely fantastic. In terms of their knowledge is way better than what ours was. But gun on gun, if you're both on a head glitch, you've got equal opportunity because you've played the game, you've learnt the mechanics. Whereas Fortnite, with the editing, with the building, with pushes, when to build, when to start, you'll know more than me. Obviously, I've only recently started playing competitively, but it's skill gaps within Fortnite is way bigger, and that's why for me it's way more interesting, and that's why I want to sort of be involved
with
in
Fortnite,
that.
like you said about if you got a pro player on COD and you played against just someone say was a competitive player of just in the amateur scene, obviously the pro player would be better. But like you said, in a map, there's going to be so many situations where the pro player can't do anything. With Fortnite and the build and everything, like obviously there's a bit of like what loot you have, what weapons you have, but with all the mechanics, like for you to kill a pro player, that's why it's such a big thing. If you kill a pro player, you can upload a video, get loads of views. Like it's so hard. There's so many things like with the game, which I guess is why it's so interesting. I was speaking to my friends, like I was saying, like if Fortnite was the thing when I was young, with all the creative maps, like all the different like courses you can do, like I'd have loved it. Like I would have loved it. So I get why like all the young people and even older people like enjoy the game. So I enjoy it now, and I'm 21. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I enjoy it just as much, and I'm 22. So It's and it's one of them games that like it almost doesn't get stale because you know there's so much for you to improve on. You know, even like you to me, like you would destroy me in a game. Like I've seen your YouTube clips, you know what I mean? Like I would get wrecked, but it's for me to go, right, how do I get to that level? And you're probably looking at someone above you. How do I get to their level? And that's why I like it. Like Call of Duty, it's like, okay, yeah, he just plays the game more than me. Like he shoots straighter, that's it. In terms of running around the map, it's the same, but with build battles and box fights and that sort of stuff, it's different level.
It's just I was thinking about it then. Look at the difference between pro Fortnite players and the difference and the Call of Duty in terms of Call of Duty only stream before an event.
Yeah.
So they'll never stream the scrims after something's happened.
Yeah.
Literally, you've disengaged with the audience firstly for after that. Fortnite players, they stream all the time. There's contact, like you can get people watching you. You can learn from them. I don't think it's a problem by somebody picking up on what you're doing because I don't see a problem with it. But for me, Call of Duty players seem to see that there's this massive thing of thinking, oh, like they're gonna pick up what we're doing. Well, they're gonna find out anyway, regardless if you're gonna show it. And I think that's the problem. Whereas Fortnite introduced for me crossplay. Keyboard and mouse, controllers. Like it's catered for every single. If you got a controller, you can use it. If you got your mobile phone, you can use it. Like Call of Duty is just kind of dipping into that market now, but it's not the way they've been established it in the game. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
Like you find the ID don't work. For me, the best thing they did was bring in GB integration, and that was in World War.
We spoke about this a while ago.
Yeah. I said that as well. Like they need a way to like just get the casual players to see more into the competitive stuff. That's what Fortnite do well. Like in-game events, you could just be randomly on Fortnite, just start playing. And I think like speaking about with Fortnite, I think the community of Fortnite has like, I guess, progressed because at the start, obviously with all these events, the storylines, everyone was watching them. So a lot of YouTube channels, like even mine, uploading like different videos speaking about the hints they're leaving around the map. And then it moves on to obviously with the competitive stuff. Like there's so much money and prize pool available for everyone to play. Like you can just jump on and play now. That like people are now getting to the point where okay, now it's about trying to improve as a player. That's what my channel is based on. Like trying to help people progress and improve. And because like we spoke about the skill gap, there's so much you can improve on your aim. There's so many different mechanics. Like it's just like it's addicting to jump on every day. And after every day of playing, you can improve like every single day.
100%. That's one of the things that I've when I've been playing and I mean like we obviously spoke about how obviously we had Axis on the show last week and he then mentioned afterwards we were always talking about right I'm now gonna go and play some Fortnite. I've been watching this guy on YouTube and he's recently like a couple of months ago made the switch and that was you and Axis was like bro I went to an event with him man he was like let me speak to him let me see if I can get him on the show and obviously you're here now so I was literally like right I'm gonna go away. I'm going to start running some courses like aim courses and various other stuff to get better because for me like it took me a while to get used to the mechanics again in building and stuff and that now I feel like I've got to a level where if someone runs at me and starts building like I can compete against that. My problem is like box fights. Like box fights is a big like I don't get into them enough to improve and I just watched your recent video where you played like 8 hours straight of box fight wages and I was like sitting there some of the stuff bro that you're doing I'm like I'm done like there's no
that's what I mean though like the fact with Fortnite that there's so many different elements that you can literally set up like a training day like that it just sounds sick like, and especially with everyone else they can just hop on and be like yeah mum I'm training today like I'm doing this I'm following a program but with COD it's like you can train your aim I guess like I used to turn aim assist off and shoot bots but there's only so much you can do like other than that obviously you scrim you do all that you go through the stuff but it's not like you can train your aim you can learn new mechanics like there's so much you can do with Fortnite and like I said COD will always be my favorite game but I feel like that's why Fortnite's done so well because it's just addicting like you can improve so much on so many different things which is why I've done really well.
What would you're guessing you don't play the new COD?
I've played it but just GBs with my friends really just chill.
What would you change out of the COD? What would you actually think you know what
I like BO4 more as a pub game like but this game I think is a
Agreed.
better competitive game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love BO4 a lot because I've played it a lot and I was better at it. I feel like with BO4, because there's a bit more health, like you could run around in pubs and the real bad players, they'd struggle to kill you because the time to kill is a bit longer. This game, I do like it for the competitive stuff because it's more like tactical, but what would I change? I don't know. Like, I don't even know, to be honest. Like, just something with the pubs to make it more like enjoyable for the casual player. So even speaking to my dad, to be fair, my dad loves this game because he loves sitting in a corner and just being able to kill people. And that's what it is. That's the thing. If I came up against someone like my dad, he would probably kill me a few times in a game and I'd be like, watch him kill me. He'd be sat there, but he'd still kill me and it would just annoy me. And that's just how it is, to be honest. Obviously, it's better for the competitive side, I think. But to be honest, I haven't been involved too much. I don't know what everyone else is thinking about the games.
No,
so.
my thing, I know this whole show is very much going to be comparing Call of Duty to Fortnite, to be fair, but it's just how it's going to go. My thing is, if you look at what Fortnite have done, I know you just touched on it, but when the game first came out, it was literally just solos, squads, duos. That was it. No LTMs. There was no in-game competitive stuff. It was just standard 3 game modes. That was it. And for a while, it stayed that way. Then they introduced new guns. Then they introduced, like, a year or so later, then Arena came out, and which was essentially what rank play is within Call of Duty. You play the game, you get points. The points put you into certain leagues. And that is that. Now, Call of Duty always stopped at that point. You got put in a league, and that was that. And it was like every season, you just want to get as high as you possibly could within the league. Whereas Fortnite go one more and one better than that. And then you have to be in a certain league to play certain tournaments, which now have ridiculous cash prizes from them. And then obviously you got the winter, what was it called? Winter Royale, was it?
Yeah.
So that now there's like different seasons where you have to be in like a certain league to be within a chance to play in that tournament. And obviously, I think it's like, first place gets like a dumb amount of money, like $1 million or probably even something more than that. But it's that's my biggest thing with Call of Duty is I need to do what you just said, engage and give the casual player a chance at seeing what competing within the game is actually like.
That's the thing. It's hard though, isn't it? Like, because with Call of Duty, obviously the actual competitive 18+. Yeah. Even so, like with Call of Duty, it's a team game. So like, there's so many people that I know that can't even find a duo to play with, but there's so many solo competitions they can get involved. And like, I remember back in the day, like with Call of Duty, like, do you remember using Deserto? I don't know if you do. Back then,
Deserto to get scrims, and eights, like, 10s and 8s.
Even that, like, I'm thinking there's so many people that play COD but don't have Twitter or aren't in the competitive community. How are they ever gonna get involved? Like, how are they ever gonna do it? With Fortnite, you don't need to be involved on Twitter. You can literally just download Fortnite and you can play on mobile.
This is why you've got 12-year-old kids, top 10 at World Cup events.
Yeah.
Because
the person who made Fortnite is a mastermind. A free game, right? And to earn your money, you've got to buy skins. You got to buy battle passes. All these things will add up. The guy sat there like, bro, because a free game, but I'm still getting loads of money out of V-Bucks,
because of the way that they've marketed that game is incredible. Because they knew that if they would have put if you would have done, let's say next year Call of Duty goes cartoon based, it's still 18+, right? And it's free, and you have to buy the in-game content in order for them to make money. It's based at 18-year-olds and above. We're sitting there like, I'm not paying £6 for this. So I'm not doing that. When you're 12 years old and you get to run around looking like Han Solo, you're like, I want that skin, Mom. Give me your card. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's how they've done it. Like, he's literally that. He's fantastic. And obviously they make enough money. Obviously they got sponsors and stuff elsewhere. But now they gave away, I think I saw some last year, 100 million in prize earnings throughout 2019.
That's another thing as well. Like, people say, like, will Fortnite die? No. And like we spoke about how like all the pro players streaming, as long as there's prize pools like that, all the pro players will be streaming. And with Fortnite, a lot of the big like streamers and creators are competitive players. So while there's a prize pool, they're still streaming, making content. They're still influencing all of their viewers to play the game as well, to compete, whatever they want to do. Like, as long as they keep putting out good prize pools and the way it is, like, Fortnite will be around for a decent amount of time. That's the thing as well. Like, speaking about Call of Duty players not being able to stream like the competitive stuff, like that's a big thing, because a lot of the pro players have the most influence.
Yeah.
If they were streaming more, making more content, like a lot of people discover competitive Call of Duty, whereas like because they don't, it's a bit more difficult. So
that's how big Call of Duty was back in the day, because you had the likes of Skull, Nadeshot, like big time. You got all them people streaming every content to YouTube. Now it's just gone. Right, you're not streaming a scrim because I don't want the other team finding out how we're doing. We're not doing any S&Ds. We're not doing this, and it's like you're there to entertain your viewers and anybody by just sitting behind there and just screaming out call out. Like you're not engaging with the community. And for me, I was just looking then. Fortnite came out in 2017, right? Mm-hmm. World War II came out in 2017. Yeah. Like, come on, like do the math. Like World War II, Black Ops 4, and now this one, they've had 3 games and Fortnite is still on. You're telling me that someone's not doing something right? Yeah. It's mind blowing. How can you be still on top after 3 different games? Like when a new COD comes out, everybody's on it. You're like, like Scump got like 20,000 views. Everybody else's Fortnite streamers are still on there sitting at 80,000.
That's what I think when I look on Twitch and I see the pro COD players sitting at like, I mean, you see some that are like signed, they're in the league like with like less than 100 viewers, and I'm thinking how like these guys are the top in the COD. Yeah. They should be getting like loads more viewers, and it's just how COD is. Like, obviously, it's just mad.
Oh, you know Illy. So Illy was a AM player last year. Obviously, he's been signed this year. I can't remember the team name that he's been signed to this year, but he's playing professionally now. It could be FaZe, something like that. Yeah. So he streams occasionally. Like Ash said, it might be because he's screaming and that he doesn't stream. But he was live the other day and he tweeted out, and I seen it, and I went onto his channel and he had 10 viewers. This guy, Illy had 10 viewers, right? And I was sat there going, so this guy is getting paid roughly between 20 and 40 grand a year to play Call of Duty.
No, it's 50 grand minimum now.
Is it 50k minimum? Okay, so there you go. So he's getting paid at least 50 grand a year, right? And he's not streaming. So in terms of his own personal brand, he's like, who's this Illy guy? Like, you know, unless you know of him from last year, this year people will see him and go, who the hell is this guy playing? Yeah. And he was streaming with 10 viewers. He got so many thousands of followers, but because he's not consistent, he's got no one there. And I was sat there going, if I had a platform like they have, forget whatever your team says about streaming. Like, and this is why I have a lot of respect for what Sensor's done and what like Scumper's done and Nightshot did when he was streaming and playing, because. For Sensor, he was like, look, I need to make sure that once COD is done, whether it ends this year, next year, whatever, I've still got a brand that I can make my money from and I can support myself from. And he used his platform within gaming, which was obviously back on FaZe, to then bring this audience to his channel and then show his audience what he does in his normal life outside of Call of Duty. And by doing that, he's absolutely smashed it. So, I do think part of Call of Duty's positioning at the moment is due to the top content creators within it, or your actual professionals, your players, not being as heavily involved with content creation as what you do see like Fortnite and that. Like, people like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tapman, Ninja. Ninja stream. What did he stream? Was it CS:GO? I don't know if it wasn't CS:GO. It was
Tarkov, maybe.
Yeah, it could have been PUBG. That's what I was looking for. Ninja streamed PUBG for years, and he was like up there within PUBG, but he wasn't nowhere near what happened with Fortnite. Fortnite came out, he carried on his grind, and then he just became like this massive sensation. And I remember when that happened, I sat there going, who the hell is this Ninja guy at the top? And I went on, like mad entertaining, like really like engaging with his viewers. There was, he had his chat on slow mode when he first started, and he was trying to reply to every message. And if, when you got 100,000 people all putting hi in your chat, you're like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? So
I think that's the thing though. Like COD,
500,000 viewers.
casual and
Yeah.
competitive is so so separated.
yeah,
Fortnite is like, I don't know if
it's all
like
one.
just with the prize pools, it's all into one. Like anyone in my stream will know about the competitive stuff that's coming up. They'll know about it because it's all like in the game. That's why we spoke about the GB integration. Like even though that was just a small thing, they could have done it so much better still.
Yeah.
That was such a big thing because people probably stumbled across with like, wait, what's this? And they probably searched it up maybe. They still could have made it a bit easier, like actually explained it in the game. But that's the main difference with the competitive scene. Like Fortnite, it's all in one. Like most people that play Fortnite will know about it.
Me and Ash, I think, spoke about this a while ago on that point about competing and integration and that sort of stuff, was that with Call of Duty, I think one of the reasons why the scene doesn't get as much viewing, I mean, even when you've got events on like the World Cup, when Fortnite was holding it, it had like 500,000 people watching as a minimum. Yeah. Call of Duty event last night, when I watched it, it had 40,000 people watching. A standalone Fortnite streamer last night had more than that in his stream, and it wasn't an event or anything, it was just him streaming. And I think part of that is because the pros that are there, the pros that are signed, will always be there unless they get dropped. For me or you to make it to where they are, it's almost impossible. Even if we shoot the straightest and we've got the best rotations, unless you know people or you're part of a circle of people that know the people in those positions, you never get in there. Whereas having in-game integration, using the game to qualify for the competitive tournaments with your prize pools, it means that if you were signed, if you're getting paid by a professional team, but I'm better than you, I can still go further in that tournament than you can, I get just as noticed.
That's one of the big reasons why I left COD. Like, obviously I spoke about it to you before. Like with Call of Duty, I loved the competitive scene. No one really knew me when I first started playing. It was like I spent my first year grinding BO4, played really well, and I just knew just from 8 lobbies and stuff that I could play with like really good players. But it's one of them like no one knows who you are. You really in COD, the way the community is, you've got to play for like 2-3 years to build up. You can't just like with Fortnite get like really good placements off your own back, playing solo events, get noticed, and then play with better people or get signed. It's not like that. And that's why COD for me, it was like in my head, I was thinking, I want to play it. Like I know I'm good, but it's going to take years to get to any point. Even like a decent AM team, it's going to take like years of playing. And I knew with my YouTube and my streaming that like all that time I was going to waste, like that's the time I need to build my own brand type of thing. And that's when I really was like, I need to just switch up to Fortnite.
That is similar. Like I know we spoke about it before. Similar story with me as well. Like I competed in COD for like probably the best part of the last 5 years properly. And I mean, when I say properly, I mean like literally you come home, you don't play pubs, you've already arranged scrims, like you sit there and you play for 5-6 hours every single night that you can. And it meant that because I wanted to stream as well as upload to YouTube, I had to really pick one between the two because I didn't have time to edit the videos or record anything. So I chalked my YouTube off for a good 3 years, just focused on streaming. And then obviously recently when our team was like, look boys, you know, we're not like we used to be. We haven't got the time that we used to have. And I was like, but I still want to, like the competitor in me still wants to play a game. And Fortnite is like is up there with one of the other games that I enjoy. Like you said, Call of Duty will always be my favourite game. Will always be that game that I get every single year, whether I play it all year round or whether I play it once a month. But the way that I've been playing Fortnite for the last 5 weeks since I've switched to keyboard and mouse, I've got this new challenge in front of me, and I'm like, right, I'm ready. Like every day I jump on and I run a course, or I dedicate a day to just aim or building or editing or whatever, and then like I play with Aaron and we go through some duo arenas or something. And both of us aren't fantastic, but over the last few weeks we've both improved massively, and I just really enjoy playing it like that. And I guess that's kind of how I was when Call of Duty first came out. You know, when you first get on the sticks and you can't shoot straight, you jump in a quick scope, no scope, and you get 1 kill because someone weren't looking at you. And then, you know, a year later, they're all underneath you and you're the best in the lobby. And then you're like, I've improved. And that's kind of where me and Aaron are with Fortnite at the moment. But yeah, I definitely think Call of Duty do need to work on some form of using just the game to qualify for competitions in the game,
Exactly.
rather than having like game battles who are external to the game running all their
Yes.
events.
So
it
weird,
doesn't
yeah.
it doesn't make sense. It's like Fortnite. There is a game battle scene. There is a ladder. There is all that. There is competitions outside of the game that have prize pools, but most people play them either one to bump up their monthly wage to pay off their bills or something,
Yeah.
or two just to practice against better people rather than just running
Yeah.
arenas constantly. Whereas Call of Duty, it's like unless you're playing game battles and all that and screaming and stuff, you're never gonna be well. PPs is the biggest one. Pro points. It's like you were saying now, like, you know, when you first started playing, you wasn't known within the scene. Now it's like, even if you are known within the scene, if you haven't got a certain level of pro points, like, no team is picking you up. Even if you
That's what I
are
mean.
incredible at the game, people are like, nah, I'm not picking you up because our seeding will be lower in the next thing. And it's so backwards that these egos are out there, because like, imagine like if Scump had 0 pro points and he come to your team, are you really going to reject him because he's got no pro points?
Like in BO4, that's luckily, like I said at the start, went to Malta. We played all the 2Ks and that, and I had like good pro points, so I was playing with loads of different players. But it was like, even then, like I could just, even though I was in a good position, I could just see all these other people and just how bad the community was for that type of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it makes sense that they want to get the best possible seeding, but they've got to look at like the long term. That's the thing with like Call of Duty. You don't see many teams like staying together for a long time. You get players that like their teams will stay together for max even a year, but that's even kind of special. And then after that, the players will move on. Pro points come into it. I don't know. Like we said, like if there was a way to get like people just who play the game casually, Call of Duty, to see, oh, if I have my friend, we could come on and just play this tournament. Not only does that fill up the brackets, because I know with like GB tournaments, like there's so many, like there's not even that many people playing them nowadays.
People just get boys all the time, and it's like we had a guest on a few weeks ago, Aaron Barr, and there was a tournament before an EG event for seeding, and apparently there was some teams within that were getting a bye into the next round. And he felt like some of these teams that got a bye weren't as good as his team, and his team didn't do that well in the bracket. And it was just like, you can kind of understand where they're coming from. And like you said, that's why I just think Fortnite have just got it so spot on at the moment with everything. Like, you know, you don't have to play arena. You can jump on and play some solos, whatever. If you want to jump on and have a bit of fun, there's always an RTM going on. Obviously every season there's now like this big cinematic every time, and something for those that play it to think about. And Call of Duty just doesn't have that. It's like even half the map packs they're bringing out these days, it's maps that you've seen 2 years ago, or you know, there's no original ideas in the game at all anymore. And that's why I just feel like Call of Duty has kind of come to an end in terms of, like, I'm still going to create content around it, like the Cod Pod. I want to get into casting and stuff like that, but in terms of playing it myself and uploading and that sort of stuff, I think I am going to be going more towards the Fortnite stuff like yourself, because it's just, there's just so much more in it. There's so much more content to produce, you know, improving. I
feel like the main thing is, it's just like content and competitive is all in one with Fortnite. It's like for you, for example, like the casting, the competitive scene, like still definitely there for COD. The people that are in it. But like we said, like, it's hard to get the casuals through, which is why, like, if you're just casually streaming, I feel like the community, especially that you're in and that I was in, like if you're playing like competitive stuff, you're playing like a wager match, you'll get people come through. But in terms of just like shit and content creation, I feel like it's very separated. So it's hard to do both on Call of Duty. But yeah, like you say, like the competitive scene's still there. It's just hard to get people coming through, like new people.
Yeah. All right.
Right. Just touching upon, we got a lot of G Fuel behind. A lot of G Fuel.
Yeah.
Could you give us a background of G Fuel?
Yeah, like, I mean,
I'm looking at some down and thinking, hey,
nah, just through my YouTube, I got like, because I used to be in Doom. I don't know if you've heard of Doom Clan, like used to be a team. Yeah, they're like they used to like pub stomp on COD when they first started recruiting like Fortnite YouTubers, and that's how I first like started speaking to people from G Fuel. And then obviously I started growing myself. was no longer part of Doom, but had my own code. Obviously now I'm the owner of my own org, so they're now sponsored by G Fuel. So yeah, now I just rep them and use that code. But yeah.
So when was it like you're on an X amount of viewers? It's like 190 something. But when did it actually start going? Where you saw the shoot? Because that's what I want to know.
First on my YouTube, like I was saying before, like YouTube when Fortnite came out, were also just starting to really push their streaming platform, like YouTube gaming. So like if you won the top row on that, guaranteed for how much they were promoting, you'd have thousands of viewers. And I was just streaming one day. I had a video that somehow did really well. It was like just an update video. I streamed with the same title, and I went from streaming the average of like 50 viewers, went up to like 300, 400. And that video kept doing well. It's a video now that's got over 1 million views. And then one day I was on like 200 viewers, and no joke, every game I played, it just kept going up to a point where I was on 3,000 viewers. I had like 5,000 subscribers. I was literally losing my mind. And after I streamed for like 8 hours that day because I didn't want to stop because of the viewers. Yeah. And after the stream, I checked my sub count. I got a DM from someone like, Higgsy, I think your account's been like hacked or something, because my sub count was on 14k. I weren't hacked, don't worry, because they were like, it's bugged out, something's wrong. I'd literally gained like 10k subscribers in one stream, and it was just from there. Like I think the most viewers I had, it was crazy, yeah. And I remember thinking like, what is going on? And every stream after that, I was kind of like in this recommended bubble or something. I'd start off with my like 100 viewers, not even that many, and then every game it would just go up and up and up. And then I think at one point my max was like 18,000
This guy, you know, I'll start with 100 viewers, not that many. Like,
I know, but I'm just saying, in comparison to what I got to, like,
you know what I mean.
And like I said, my highest, I was like 18,000 viewers, and back then it was like Fortnite. There was still really bad players, so it was like doing different things like trap towers at the end. Basically in my head, it was like the longer I stay alive at the end of the game, as the zone gets smaller, the more like people will stick around to see what happens. Yeah. So more and more people come through. People aren't leaving because they want to like see what happens, and the viewers would just go up. And that's how my channel first got crazy. Like I gained like, I think it was like 80,000 subscribers in like a month and a half. It was just literally insane. And that was when I kind of started playing COD more, because BO4 came out. I wanted to compete, and I had that kind of like battle. Like I should really do my YouTube, and I was still doing it, but it was kind of like on the back foot. I was playing COD. And my YouTube went low for a bit, and obviously kind of recently I've started grinding Fortnite again, streaming on Twitch, so enjoying it quite a bit now. Yeah.
My question then on that, and this is a constant question I ask myself all the time.
Yeah.
So I've gone from playing Call of Duty all the time, uploading it all the time, streaming it on Twitch all the time. So I've hit affiliate. I've got a few subs. I've got a little bit of a fan base over there that's been growing recently through Fortnite. Would you recommend streaming? This isn't just to me. This is to anyone listening as well. Would you recommend streaming on Twitch and uploading clips and videos to YouTube, or keep all your content in one place and stream on YouTube and upload your videos to YouTube?
I personally believe in like this stream on Twitch, upload on YouTube. But one thing where people go a little bit wrong is with YouTube. YouTube's crazy right now. Like the recommended is such a big thing. That's why like you can have channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers averaging low viewers, because if they stop, they come out of the recommended. Like you got to wait to get back in. But at the same time, you can get anyone right now could upload a video that gets put in recommended. And that's kind of what happened with me. I got one video that got in recommended, and after that, all my videos are getting in recommended. So if you look at my stats, the percentage of people that are subscribed watching my videos is like 20%. So 80% of the people are just new people every video. So like if you upload content onto YouTube, but you think of it, instead of it being like highlights of your stream, just make something just different. They're still linked into your stream, but like slightly different. Try and get as high watch time like average as you can. Like at any random time, one video could blow up. And that's what I mean. Like you just got to look for that. Just keep uploading. Try different things out, especially while you're not in the recommended. And then that one video that gets in there, you just then got to like look at the video, see what kind of topic was in the video, and try and like make similar style videos after that. Yeah.
All right. So I mean, we spoke about football. We spoke about COD. I checked last night. I mean, like we always say, this platform is to celebrate achievements. So your first achievement, 196k subs on YouTube as of last night. So that's a massive amount. As of last night, I think I checked 18.1k followers on Twitch.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's something you want to share. I couldn't find how many subs you'd got on Twitch, but is that something you can share, or is that?
Yeah, I'm on like, I was last month I was on 300. I think I'm on like 280 right now.
Jeez.
But like, that's the thing, like with the Twitch stream, if you're making videos on YouTube, literally all my Twitch viewers come over from my YouTube. So it's like, you don't, some people will make like highlight videos of their Twitch streams. The idea is to like make just separate content that's still around the same game, and then just get people to come over. But yeah.
All right, cool. And then obviously, next achievement, I left this one till last because I thought this would be quite a good talking point, but I think if I get this right, I can't remember if it was 2 places or 2 points away from money within Winter Royale.
Yeah, that's it. Like 2 points. So that was the thing for me. Like, obviously, my whole video is all about my progression. That's why I was so annoyed. If I was able to like show people that you can switch the keyboard and mouse, and like
within 3 months you've made money within.
Obviously, it was duos, so I was actually getting carried quite heavily. But still, it's one of them. Like, you can start playing Fortnite, and in like a few months, like you can still be involved fully. Without being in any community, without having to do anything, just through the game, and like nearly win some earnings. So, yeah,
literally, like on console. Like, I know you touch on this in your videos a lot, but literally, when I played Fortnite with a controller, I got to a level that I couldn't really get any better from, but I'd still come against people in arena and that, and I'd get battered, and it was like, what? And you find out he's on keyboard and mouse. So I mean, when I made the switch, the first week was rough. Like learning how to aim, learning how to build, sorting your keybinds out. Like, damn, it was rough. And I mean, since this recent season, I've literally been getting carried by Aaron, like on his shoulders out of the storm, carried, like literally getting carried. But as of like the last week, like just literally like this isn't just to sort of sit here and say, oh yeah, I've been watching your videos all the time, but literally like I watch your videos and I see how you're progressing. I'm like, right,
shock.
I seen it in my head. Do you know what I mean? I was like, right, I'm going to do some box fights. Or Aaron, get in a thing, 1v1 me. And like, we've been doing it and it genuinely works. Like, as of like last night, I think I just hit 2k points on Arena now. Like, now I can play in the Cash Cup on Wednesday. And that's going to be like my benchmark now and be like, right, the first time I played a Cash Cup on a Wednesday, I hit whatever position. And it's just like week on week, just trying to just better that.
That's what I mean. Like, just compare it to Call of Duty again. Like, you can literally be on. You can have no friends. You could jump on Fortnite.
Zero friends.
Zero friends. No one to play with.
Shit, it's found me out.
But firstly, like there's always something to improve on. Like you can always see someone that's better than you. So you're looking at, like you were just saying, like you're looking at me and how I improved in 3 months. But I'm looking at someone that's miles better than me still. And I still feel like I've got so much to improve. But you can go and play, and you can literally see straight away like how you compare to the other competitive players in COD. Like if you're someone that wants to play competitive, like how do you find people to play? Like you got to find the people. You've then got to like somehow get involved in the community, like
and you
try
need,
and find
you need another 4 people as well in COD
that's
now.
what I mean. Like it's
just
tough.
harder.
And it's tough. But yeah, with Fortnite, obviously they've done well with that. Like, and that's the meta right now. Like it's definitely switched. There's still people that are in it just for the storylines and stuff as a part of the game, but especially nowadays, like so many, like 75% of the players, probably less overall, but so many players are all about just trying to become the best possible player. Like improving, trying to play in these cash cups. So yeah,
it's that they fully promote all these, like, you know, like we were saying, trying to get like the casual players into competitive. I think it's Friday nights and Saturday nights. You got the solo hype nights now, you don't even need to play arena. You don't need any points at all to qualify for it. It's literally just jump in, do the best that you can in 10 games. And fair enough, you are playing against people that are at the top level, but it at least gives you an insight into what competing is all about, how it all works, the difference between a casual game and a competitive game. And I think, Fortnite.
I think that's the thing though. Like you can literally just, as a player, as a Call of Duty player, you look at the pro players, you're like, how on earth do I get there? Like, how do I get there? How do I find people to get involved in the community? Like, what do I do? With Fortnite, it's like, okay, I can literally go in these trainer maps, improve, and then jump in these games that like these tournaments and events. And if I do well in these, then I can become a pro. Like, that's just how it is. It's so like easy. That's probably the biggest difference in the competitive scene. And obviously the prize pools help a lot. Like we said, whilst the pros are still streaming and making content with the big prize pools, there's always going to be a massive audience for the game. So, yeah.
Okay, right. Well, I think it's about that time of the show, Ash. So we've walked down memory lane, and now it's time to take a left turn into the firing range.
I think I've seen this.
He's seen these. He knows what's coming.
They are serious questions. There's no dick with fingers. Right. So, quick fire questions. We'll start off with the first section, which will be gaming, and then I'll go into some general ones, and then after that, I've just got a couple of questions for you, just for people who may be watching. So, best game you played?
Fortnite.
Worst
Call of Duty.
That's hard. Oh my god. Probably like Animal Crossing, Nintendo DS or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a bad game.
Wii Sports.
Hang on a minute. Wii Sports bang, bro.
Right, Stanno, you step out the firing range, mate. You know what I mean? Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Controller or mouse?
Controller.
Best game with the best players. So, what have you enjoyed the most with the best?
What, like friends and that?
Yeah, with your friends.
Yeah, Call of Duty, 100%.
Next one is best COD you played.
I've got to say BO4. People will hate me for that, but
To be fair, I actually did like it.
Have you? I need to just cut in now. Did you ever play Black Ops 2?
I played it, but that was the time
And
I
you
was just
still
starting
picked
to
Black
annoy.
Ops 4.
BO4 was just
Damn.
like I know.
Ooh.
Worst COD you played. So Black Ops 2.
Worst COD. I know. Again, like I think this game. I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but I'm gonna say Ghost.
Yeah.
I think it's boring, man.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah,
Right, if you had one day to spend with any pro player, who would it be and why?
That can be COD or Fortnite, by the way.
Yeah, I'll let you go. I'll let you go out of the box a little bit.
I think I'm gonna go. I've got to just say with like probably Scump, bro. It's just got to be Scump, innit? Like, to be fair, I'd love to spend a day in the house where like Nade shot Scump and all them were there. That would have been.
That would have been 60-50 Russell Drive, man. Yeah.
Right, if you have, so this is not to do with a pro player. So if you have one day to spend with somebody from the gaming, who would it be and why? So they're not pro, just anybody from the gaming community.
To be fair, I'm gonna have to say my bro Cliffy, like the Malta gang. To be fair, like the amount of times I think about those days, I just want to go back. Like Axis, Cliffy, like the boys, Ebro, all of them.
Love that. All right, tea or coffee?
Tea.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunset.
Phone or computer?
Computer.
This is a good one. YouTube or Twitch?
YouTube.
Twitter or Instagram?
Twitter.
Pep or Klopp?
Ooh, Klopp.
Yes, I like that. Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you.
That's a different question.
If you could go back, I think you answered this question. See if anything else pops up. If you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be and why? So think of in terms of like your career.
What, like football?
So
or...
it could be both. So you could change one thing. What would it be and why?
I don't know. It's a hard one, you know. Well, I do wish that I'd just, like, when Fortnite first came out, I'd just grind it competitively. So I'd probably just say that, like, just starting that right from the beginning, following it through. Yeah.
Right, if you had advice for anybody wanting to be a streamer, content creator, so what advice could you give to someone to kind of just get them on the way?
Hang on, let me
Like,
get my shit.
I know it's hard, like, because you said about time, but especially if you're a streamer, don't just expect to like get loads of new viewers just from streaming alone. You got to make content on other platforms, like whether it's clips on Instagram, Twitter, like YouTube videos that like bring people over. Like, yeah, just make content elsewhere other than just your stream. Yeah.
See, I like that one. I haven't heard that one before. I actually
Yeah.
haven't. It's usually the more cliches like, "Oh, you got to do this." You know.
Be
That
consistent,
that didn't even come to mind. But I like that one. Right. So, if you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Sexy. Let's go. I don't know what else to say. What other words are there? I'll go hard working.
No, that's 2 words.
I can't take
that's
it.
2 words.
No matter. I know it's sexy. Right. Goals for this year. So what's your goals for 2020?
I want to hit 300k on YouTube and like 50k on. Oh, actually, to be fair, my organization DK Nation, I want to actually have like be more established in the Fortnite competitive scene. That's one of my biggest ones. To be fair.
To be fair, this is one of the things. I know we just finished the firing range, but I actually completely forgot to mention this earlier on in the podcast, in the video. DK Nation, obviously you own the org.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
I mean, that started as like a Call of Duty thing again.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like pub stomping. Like we had pub stompers and we had commentators, like 2 separate teams, just making content. And then it grew a lot for YouTube on that, but now it's more of like a entertainment, like professional team. We have like a lot of mixer streamers because obviously mixers up and coming.
Yeah.
We have a few big YouTubers and we're about to start a Twitch team and stuff. But yeah, like that was again just started from COD and then just transformed.
All right, cool. Well,
you are allowed to. You are free from the fire range.
Yeah,
I allow you to step out of it, unarmed, unscathed.
Right, Axis got off. I mean, you got off lightly today, mate. Axis,
Yeah,
some
you
of the
got off
questions
lightly.
Axis
Axis
had
didn't.
last week.
Yeah, no, I saw that one.
All right, well, I guess that's gonna be today's video. So, I mean, thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving up your time
I appreciate
come
it.
and speak to us. I mean, best of luck, and yeah, we hope you succeed and you achieve the goals that you just spoke on.
Thank you.
And just keep up the good work, man. I mean, you
Appreciate it.
your community bangs, and I've been in your Twitch streams, bro. I know that they're growing. I had to put like 3 messages in the other day to say hello. I was like, yo, I'm here, man.
I feel bad. Like sometimes I look back at my streams, see the live chat, and people I miss. I'm like, I didn't even see that. But yeah,
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all part of the growth, I guess. So, anyway, yeah, keep up that. And I mean, thank you to those of you that have listened all the way to the end of the podcast. I hope you're enjoying the new sort of layout of this podcast now. Obviously, unfortunately, Aaron couldn't be here today. Ash, thanks for your time, mate.
Thanks for yours as well. And Higgsy, wish you all the best, man.
yeah, you too.
And those on Spotify, make sure to follow. I think it's all in a playlist, if I'm right in thinking, and I think you can follow the playlist. So make sure to do that if you do listen, weekly on Spotify. So YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. If you didn't enjoy the content, make sure to leave a comment in the description below. We have a lot of messages week on week from people, whether it be personally or whether it be on Twitter and stuff, where we see people's comments about our podcast, things that we spoke about. So make sure to put comments out there, at us in them, or DM us privately, leave messages on the YouTube, and we'll definitely pick them up, and we're trying to improve. And from all of us here at the Cod Pod, have a fantastic day.
Peace.